Yo, what's up guys, this is Happy No with another Guild Wars 2 PvP video, and this time with the Dragonhunter, showing you a little bit 3v3 arena, even though it took me like 10 minutes for one queue. Holy hell. I wanted to show you Holosmith, but I decided to go first with my Dragonhunter because it is the most beloved by you all, and today I decided to try out my builds that I've figured out here. They still ain't that great, but somehow they were able to work in many situations, but also in a lot of situations not so much. My team comp seems not so great against theirs, but we need to see what's going on. What enemies do we face here? Oh, I should have targeted this guy. I want to target this. Let them come up. Yes, the firebrand is my target as well. So I'm gonna just... Yes, nice hit on him. I want to just pull him here. Okay, that's great. Giving stability to my ally. Yes, that's it, that's it, that's it. Now if they go for the revive... Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. What are my allies doing? Attack! Which one am I attacking? Blocking? I need my elite skill here. We can get this guy here pretty fast actually. Okay, spearing him. Protection, stability. I haven't seen how much damage have I done to this guy actually. That was huge. Let's see. Ooh, I'm dealing no damage at all. Okay. Okay, I will stay with longbow, but at the last game when we're gonna have it, I'm gonna swap to my greatsword. So DH seems to be more viable with the greatsword, but with the longbow on the open arena, it is a little bit better. On open arenas like this and on 5v5 as well, longbow seems to be more viable in my opinion. It is deflecting shot that makes this build so viable, even though most people will not agree with me with that. But the deflecting shot has just such a huge impact into the game because it is unblockable, and this unblockable just allows you to really help your allies quite a lot, because for example the enemy players are here, you can just boom deflecting shot and you will just knock back people while they are reviving someone, and that's what makes this build so huge. I guess probably they will now focus me or the Scourge, one of those two, our two, they will just focus us. Probably they will try to focus me, which will be great because I can show you a little bit how to try hard kite around. It will be not so easy on this map, but what I can do is, for example, do this leap here and just troll around a little bit with my knockback and stuff like that. Using Mace 2 here with the Revenant is pretty nice because you can stack a little bit more might and therefore have a nice opener here. I will recommend to start with Longbow 5 here if the enemies are not pushing fast into you. And you can see it here. Let's see, we can... Oh no, not the necro. We want to have this guy here. Actually, I tried immobilizing. That's fine, that's fine. They're still on me. Blocking now. Okay. The Scourge just has done here something. I can pull. I don't want to pull him. I can pull him now. Remove crownies from my allies. And then just port onto this guy. Blind him. Okay, where's the necro now? Holy man, the necro just wants to kill me. I have no target, I want to show you actually this. Now watch. Do this, immobilize. 12k true shot, guys. This guy will not be able to revive. That's just what I wanted to show you. The enemies ain't like the best, but they seem still to get something going on because we are dealing heavy damage. We have quite some pressure. I've seen a lot worse players actually. So the enemy teams are really decent players in my opinion. They struggle a little bit getting a nice target. They should really focus the Scourge altogether on me, but they just... It looks like they're splitting a little bit too much, which is the mistake here. Oh, that's just not ready up for a second. I want to show you the greatsword type, and afterwards I will show you the what you should change. So I'm going to change here virtues for zeal, and using this one here. I'm using Wrathful Spirit now because of the extra retaliation and fury, while with Fiery Wrath you just get a 7% damage bonus onto burned enemies. And like this, you don't need that burning enemies, you just need more retaliation to maintain your 10% damage bonus, might stacks and higher crit chance. The sigils remain the same here because of the same purpose as with the longbow. Your true shot and in this case now leap of faith and other greatsword utility skills will just deal heavy amount of damage. Here we go, spearing him, already on my spear. Oh yeah guys, look at this damage. This guy might already be dead. Using my F3 ability here, leaping onto those people, knocking away. Nice. Okay, trying to show you here a little bit of damage onto the necromancer. Look at those numbers guys, that's just a slaughter. And yeah, these are the two types. And believe me or not, I wanted to show you even another game, but I had 2 recorded games on my DH, and one was a pretty huge loss and the other one was just a too easy win, like almost like this one. But on this one I was a little bit able more to show you a little bit how you can do damage with the build, because on the other ones I had like, what did I had one guy AFK. On the other one we were winning, like really, they had a Reaper who was really bad and we killed him like in 1 second, and these guys actually survived a little bit longer, so that just allowed me to show you a little bit the damage output that you can get as a DH. But keep in mind, you are the squishiest player in your team, and that's what you should really keep an eye on, because you will play with Berserker Amulet and Divinity, and in my opinion this is more of a unranked arena build, or even ranked arena when the 5v5 comes back, or a 3v3 if you have a really nice support, because when you have a supporter that can heal you up, you can just go full damage and don't have to worry about healing, and that's what this build is kind of all about in my opinion. So Berserker Amulet with, by the way, I want to say thank you before I show you the build. Thanks for watching my videos, following me, subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thanks for over 3 million views. I just have to say it a little bit more, I feel, because it is so amazing to have so many viewers and followers. That's pretty nice, and yeah, a big thank you to all of you. I really appreciate it, and you are the reason why I still make videos, because lately I'm not so enjoying so much the game because of so many haters writing hate comments on me and yeah, trash talking me. But never mind, I will just keep on going, don't worry about it. Berserker is my main choice, max damage, as this build just will show you here on the golem. Divinity rune, because you need the 10% extra HP, otherwise you are just destroyed without this. For example, not even 12k HP, so Divinity is the main rune here to use. Otherwise you have to go with Marauder Amulet, more HP, less damage but still more than enough. And yeah, but this is just my main damage choice, which I will explain you a little bit later on in this video. Then I'm using Sigil of Cleansing with Sigil of Energy on the Scepter shield, because a little bit Condi Cleanse, extra dodge, pretty nice. Scepter is your like secondary damage dealing ability, but a little bit more for your survivability and to pin down enemy players, so you have it easier to burst the enemies here. And the range is also pretty nice. Then on the Greatsword or Longbow I use Sigil of Exposure with Sigil of Battle. Just to the fact, because 5 seconds of 4 stacks of might, nice damage increase, plus the Sigil of Exposure, 5 stacks of vulnerability, 5% damage bonus immediately onto the enemy players. Yeah, allows you to have nice damage output onto enemy players. On your longbow you can even go with the Sigil of Intelligence, but you have more than enough crit here. When you get yourself Fury, you have plus Fury 20%, 96% crit chance. With this build you will not have so much Fury, only when Aegis is removed, but that will be enough to get the highest crit chance. But on your longbow you can go with Intelligence, and on the Greatsword you can remove Sigil of Battle for Sigil of Stagnation to cripple enemy players so they are not able to get away from you that fast. Then the build, Radiance, Zeal and Dragonhunter, with Zeal being the optional tool here, optional trait line which you can swap around to fit your game style. Radiance must have, F1 ability gets recharged when you kill someone. You will apply blind to enemy players and light aura for 4 seconds, 10% minus condition damage on you. Healer's Retribution. Retribution gives you your healing skill gives you 8.5 seconds of retaliation, and retaliation reflects incoming damage, plus gives you 25% higher crit chance, and for each second that you have retaliation up, you will stack yourself some might stacks. You have a tier Retribution. Retaliation grants you increased damage, 10%, and here the last Rider's Instincts, might and higher crit chance each second. Then you have also some other things that you have to notice as well. Radiant Power attacks against burn foes have 10% higher crit chance, which is also pretty nice, and especially the reason we use Judge's Intervention here. So you have only with Retaliation, which you will grant yourself here with these two abilities. Actually, yeah, 96%, 97%, plus the 10% on crit on burned enemies, so you have a 106% crit chance against burned foes. So yeah, this trait line comes also pretty nice. Extra ferocity, extra crit damage, and Virtue of Justice is renewed when you kill a foe. That's just what I said at the beginning. Then I'm gonna talk first with Dragonhunter and then Seal. In Dragonhunter, you will grant yourself here Spear of Justice, Wings of Resolve, and Shield of Courage for the people who don't know it. Soaring Devastation is my main trait line here because of the faster mobility, and you will also deliver an attack onto enemy players. The attack will not deal so much damage, but still pretty nice to have. Since we are not using any traps, Piercing Light makes no sense at all, and dulled senses could be also pretty nice, cripple enemies that you disable. But I thought the disabling is also not our main goal here, but it will be also nice, but the mobility and the extra damage is pretty nice. Especially you will also remove Immobilize. Will you remove Immobilize or apply Immobilize? You will apply Immobilize, yes. I just forgot about this because they swapped this build trait line so many times around, but you will immobilize enemy players. That's even huge, more than I thought. So more mobility and immobilize, pretty nice. Defender's Dogma, 1 second. You will recharge your Spear of Justice when you block attacks. Blocking an attack, yeah. You will just be able to use Spear of Justice more frequent. The passive has a 40 seconds cooldown, which will also get a cooldown reduction when you block attacks. But that's like not so many times because you don't have so many blocks, only Aegis and Shelter. That's just actually it. And of course Shield 4. Then Zealot's Aggression, deal increased damage to crippled foes. Justice passive effect cripples enemies. 10% damage bonus to crippled enemies, which would make more sense than dulled senses, but I wasn't considering that much because you really have to CC the enemy players, and if you miss the CC you will not benefit from it so much, so Soaring Devastation is a little bit better in my opinion. Then Big Game Hunter, the main trait line here, striking an enemy tethered by your Spear of Justice inflicts vulnerability and increases damage dealt. Tether duration is increased. This is so huge, you have to land your Spear of Justice, but that should be pretty easy because most people don't expect it at the beginning of fights, or they even won't bother dodging it. So you will have it up, and the duration will be like I don't know how long even it is. Like, yeah, I would have said 10-15 seconds. 10 seconds, and on those 10 seconds you can deal huge damage. You will apply vulnerability, burn the enemy players, and be really annoying, and also cripple, by the way. Then Seal. This is the way to play it when you go with your Greatsword. You will have your Wrathful Spirit. Aegis grant boons when it ends, which means at the beginning of a fight you will have immediately Retaliation and Fury, and afterwards you will get Aegis, I don't know, no, not with this one here, but you will have Retaliation by the set from Symbol 4 and Symbol 4 here. Otherwise you will grant yourself Aegis when you will play with Retaliation, not Retaliation, but Valor, just saying. So this is just an extra amount of retaliation, which occurs like every 40 seconds. How many times? And when you pop up your Shield of Courage. So you will have it like 2-3 times before you use your elite skill. That's pretty nice to have, just extra a little bit. Otherwise, Fury Wrath, 7% damage bonus onto burned enemies could be also the main thing here. But I thought 4.5 second almost extra retaliation would be pretty nice. Extra might, extra crit chance. Pretty huge in my opinion, because the burning is only when you deal damage, and if you have nothing then you will deal no damage. But you can play around with those two, I guess. Then Sealer's Blade, you have higher power, even higher power level when you go to your Greatsword, 240 power. Greatsword skills have reduced cooldown. And then Symbolic Avenger, when enemies stay in your symbols, you will get 1 stack of Symbolic Avenger, which gives you 2% damage bonus. You can have up to 5 stacks, which gives you a 10% damage bonus. And to give you a little insight here, you can spear this guy, boom, interrupt him, swap around, boom, and this is even the wrong combo actually. 18k with Wild Wind attack. I'm just going to need to show you a little bit the better combo here. And then I'm going to show you with a Greatsword as well, and you can just compare it to yourself how you want it. Longbow works not so great in the 3v3 small arenas, and especially not if you have a lot of, let's say, a Tempest and the Firebrand. They will just perma block you. So you can start with using Shelter. Normally at the beginning of the fight, as I said, you will just have something else here to go on, and you can see it here now. Almost 20k damage and 3k damages here against this guy by just auto attacking, and that's huge. That's pretty huge with a Greatsword. And especially if people stay in your symbols, you will have the 10% damage bonus permanently up, because the duration of the skill is pretty huge, and that just allows for immense damage. Now let's go with the longbow. Just a second. With the longbow, the combo is a little bit easier because you will get the benefits of this like at the beginning immediately. For example, you start like this. You don't even need to use your healing skill, by the way, in your Greatsword. You go like this, boom, then you immobilize this guy, swap around. Okay, that was just 9k damage, but still pretty huge. And you can see it here. Your longbow auto attack deals also massive damage. And just to show you one more time here, because I thought I just almost failed it here. Just a second, getting out of combat. At the beginning of the fight, you will just grant yourself more Aegis. I need also to explain virtues, by the way, I forgot. So, at the beginning, you can go with Symbol of Punishment, and then just spear the enemy player, immobilize, swap around, true shot, 10k damage. And believe it or not, but I was able to get with my true shot on a thief open arena like 70k damage. That was huge. That's just basically it, I would say. To the build, virtues, Unscattered Contender, 20% damage bonus, Inspire. So these are the two builds, guys. Sorry that I got interrupted. Hope you still enjoyed this video, and I see you in my next videos. Have a really nice day wherever you are, and I love you all. Bye bye, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry for the interruption. Bye bye.